I'm gonna tell you now something most marketers will keep for themselves. Now 99% of you are making this critical mistake with your Google business profile. And it's costing you leads, calls, and eventually money. All right, let's get to it. This is part 1 of 7 of our Google business profile checklist. Now in this video, we are going to fix the 2 biggest setup mistakes: your business name and your service area. Plus, we'll cover claiming your listing and getting the essential info squared away. Now let's talk about your business name. Google's official rule is clear. Your Google business profile name must exactly match your real-world business name. The name customers know you by, the name on your signs and legal papers. Why are businesses tempted to add plumbing services or Dallas to their name when it's not the legal name? Because it can help with ranking, simple as that. But it also comes with a potential consequence. Google can suspend your listing for violating this guideline. Now, you might have seen competitors doing it. Let me quickly show you what I mean. Now, this is a best practice of how not to do a business listing. As you can see, green cards India, and then a lot of keywords there. Wedding card shop in Pune with very reasonable price, amazing quality, wedding and invitation, Hindu, Muslim, Islam, it goes on. That's not just forbidden from Google. It's also not really nice to read for you as a user. And we always put the user first. Google is second. You might think that your competitors might get away with this. Yes, actually, Google penalizes this. It mostly first sends you a warning, then it sends you another one, and then another one. But in order to really get your Google business profile delisted, it takes a lot and a lot of effort on your side to actually get banned from Google. Now, the legit way, especially for established businesses, is to register a doing business as or DBA. This legal process where you register an operating name that's different from your legal business name. You can choose a DBA that includes those valuable keywords and locations like Smith, service, plumbing, and drain cleaning if your legal name is just Smith Service. Before you even choose a DBA, do a little research. Use a free tool like the Google Keyword Planner or even Google Trends to see what local customers are actually looking for. This helps you choosing a keyword-rich, high-demand DBA name. Or simply also just analyze your competitors. What are they doing? How do their names look like? It's always a good thing to get an idea what might be working. And maybe I think I shouldn't add that, but look at a competitor that's doing well and not the one that's not doing any money. All right, now that you've got your name sorted, let's make sure you actually claimed and verified your Google business profile. In order to do that, we go to google.com/business, or you simply go to google.com, hit the burger menu and click on the business profile manager. It could be that you have to scroll a little bit in that menu, but it's definitely there. Now you see actually a couple of Google business profiles that I own and I manage. But if you don't have already any business profile, then you just click here to add business, add a single business, and then you type in your name. And now we have 2 things that we have to pay attention to. Number 1, your business is not listed on Google yet. You type your name. There could be XYZ, HVAC, for example, and then it pops up, create a business with this name. That would be new. Or let's say you have a business listed, you had an employee that's gone and you don't have the credentials to get there, whatever. But you could technically type your name. I would say, what's that? Let's see if HVAC pops up. HVAC pub. Yeah, okay, that's not the same, but you get it. I could click on that one. And then I could request access. And that actually will then transfer or make me admin on that business profile. And once the current owner agreed to that, you can do whatever with it and then optimize it. But that would be then the further steps. But we assume now that we will create a new one. I would say XYZ HVAC. So, and we are in home, did you say home service, home builder service, HVAC contractor, for example, comes up. Sometimes you just have to look a little bit to what kind of category actually fits to your business. It's sometimes a bit tricky because Google is very limited on those. If you're not sure, what I do often is I take a screenshot of that, throw it into ChatGPT and ask him what GPT thinks is the closest of these categories to my business. That requires a little bit time. Maybe, usually you're done in 10 minutes, but you can nail it down to the T basically with a little help if you're not unaware. If you know what your category is, just pick it and you're good to go. Click on next. Then we are step 2. Do you want to add a location so customers can visit, like a shop or office? That is very important if you sell tools or something, so you have a storefront. I have been advised to take this option only if I have a storefront and people actually can get in, not get into an office where they are being sent out again because they don't belong there, but actually where you are willing to receive clients. I don't know what's your setup in your business, but that definitely is something you have to consider. So we assume now that you're just going out and doing business and you don't have a storefront. Then we click on no and click on next. And this is very important. Do not get this wrong. Setting your service area. Getting this wrong is another huge mistake. We talked about it at the introduction because it limits where you can show up in search results. And you want to be shown by Google in exactly the areas where your clients are looking for you. Also, keep in mind that these days a lot of people open Google Maps and they write down, I don't know, air condition, broken air condition, sometimes, even that simple. And it's not because English is not my native language, but you have to really dummy down on the search terms. So if I open Google, I mostly see myself and then a radius. And if I write broken air condition, it's gonna pop up businesses that are related in my area, and that is because of this step here. So don't skip that and be as precise as possible. You usually can get in like a whole state. For example, let's take Iowa or Iowa City. You can even narrow down, right? You could probably also, I don't know if that's Orange County. Yeah, there you go. Or I'm just coming here with very famous cities, so don't judge me on that. It's very important that you get this very down to the T. I would say I am operating in Vienna, that's in Austria. I take this. I could also add another city, for example. Let's say I do the surroundings. There's a pretty cute suburban, I think it's a city now. It's called close to Neuburg. And I could add that to it. So let's say you have a main center where your business works out of it, and you have like stations situated all across the state or even a country. And each of those stations where you actually provide your services, they have specific areas. So you can actually set this up that way. So when people are looking for your services across the whole company, they will not overlap with who they will be contacting. That also reduces internal friction when it is about the sales or provision or incentives or whatever. So again, the more detailed you do it here, the better it is. Also, I want to add to this, be specific, but don't make it too small of an area unless you work only in a teeny tiny area. For example, in a city, only in one district, then it makes sense. Otherwise, always think about how far do your employees get clients, right? So again, connected to what I just said, it's the best to just be as specific as possible. So the people that are actively looking for you, they can also find you. And if you are unsure of what the area is, just take a plain old paper map and draw around it and see where you get, right? So it's as simple as that. Let's move on to section 4, the initial profile information and the quick wins. Okay, one thing, super important. It's called NAP, name, address, phone number. And I add here the website, I get to their why, but the name has to be consistent. We already talked about that. Then we have the address. Of course, people need to find you. And the phone number has to be identical across several platforms. That includes Google Business Profile. Why? Because the search engines are actually crawling several websites where they find your contact details. And if they are not consistent, they are unsure if you are the same business they just found. Hence, somebody's looking for you, or you do a lot of marketing, you will not rank that well. It's all a ranking factor as well. So just make it as consistently as possible, or just make it consistent, period. And don't skip this step. The website is also super important. About 95% of the Google Business profiles that I see and check, they usually have an outdated URL or domain, or it just doesn't work. The link on their Google Business profile leads to a 404. That's an error page. And what happens? The people jump off, they go to your competitor, and you lose money again. It's that simple. You want to make it as frictionless as possible to every possible client contact you get. All right. So just going to drop my website here. We move on to the next step. Let's see if it takes it. I cheated a little bit here with the phone number. Tell me it's not a correct one. Okay. So now we are at the A of the NAP street address, right? So I'm just going to test road 25. It's probably going to pop up postcode 2100. That's in my town. Ah, no. Said we are in Vienna. 1010. That's Vienna, right? Let's see. Okay, and this is super important. Next step, you get a text code to your phone, or you can also verify later. I will skip this because anyway, just like testing this through, but you got to do that. You have to give them your phone number. It's all in your benefit. The next thing we have, add your service. Your service, pick your service. What do you offer clients? Here would be AC systems maintenance. I do systems repair. Maybe I don't do AC installation. I can take that out. When I'm missing something, I can also get a custom service. I don't know, a repainting. I don't know. Maybe you do that. Let's see if it takes. So, and one step forward, and then super important, opening hours. So many people don't do that. And I have to say, every time I see a business and I don't see opening hours, it kind of pisses me off because I want to know it's 4 o'clock. Are they still here? Can I call them because I have an emergency? Yeah, I just need to know. Otherwise, I have to call them. I'm in some kind of loop. And that even if that call loop or this waiting loop is not set up correctly, yeah, it's just not good. Customers jump off. You have to be just spot on with all the touch points with your company to the client every time. So you probably work Monday to Friday. I don't know. Maybe you're even Monday, you're 24 hours there. It could also be if you have a emergency number, then you just click on 24 hours. Let's continue. Then we have a business description. Then when you click on learn more, Google tells you a lot about what you can do and what you cannot do. What I usually do is I use ChatGPT. Simple as that. We are in the year 2025. Why not? So I have installed a plugin so I can talk to it. I just feel like it's easier. And the way I do it is, hey, I need a Google Business profile description with maximum 750 characters describing my business, which is an HVAC business operating in the Vienna in Austria and including close to Neuburg. Could you please create an SEO and Google Business profile optimized for search description? Keep in mind, it should be 750 characters long. Thank you. Yeah, the name, it didn't really get it right. I mean, we didn't really settle on a name before, but XYC is your trusted partner. Okay. Austria neighboring Nor. Yeah, okay. It's not Nor. Misunderstood, but it's a German name, so I'm not mad at it. Specialized I would even take that. Our specialized technicians available 24/7 emergency service. If I have that, contact us today for free quote, something like that, right? I mean, it's okay. What I pay attention to is that it's absolutely clear what it is that you do. So just shoot in all your services that you have, right? We just make clear that if somebody, and I'm talking to user, not a search engine, that if the user reads this description, it's glass clear what you do. So chances are you match their needs and they call you right away because they feel you understand their issues, what they have right now. So simple as that, we just throw it in. Let's see if the count is correct. Oh yeah, 533, it's okay. We continue. And now, super important, so many people miss that out as well. Photos of your company. Make photos outside, especially because people need to recognize your business. Go out, shoot some pictures with your phone. The phones these days are amazingly good equipped with cameras. Also take some inside pictures, take some pictures of the cars, especially the cars, because these trucks will go to the clients itself. And you need to have a recognizable moment, right? So from the point the person sees your Google Business profile and sees this picture of the truck, the car, that you will be going to consult him or her, it needs to be the same. right? So, and the more pictures you have, the more the customer can they just get these better vibes. It's like a psychological thing. So you really have to add those. We will get into the details on what you can do with the pictures in a later video. That's going to be step 5, I think. Video 5. But never ever forget that. It's super important. So many people don't even upload pictures. And I feel like in a visual world like this that we're living in, it's absolutely crucial that you have photos up there of you, of the team. I mean, it doesn't have to be, but it's like behind the scenes, in action, stuff like that. So people also see and know what you're actually doing. We skip this because I don't have any good pictures. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. That was kind of Google Business Profile in short. What else is there to add, right? So there's a couple of common mistakes. The biggest one is the naming mistakes. We talked about that before. Remember the DBA, doing business as strategy. If you want keywords in your name, and frankly, in a more legal way and not stuffed like we see in the example before, just don't shove keywords in there. It's not helping any search algorithm, and it's most certainly not helping your potential clients. And number 2, definitely the incorrect service area. Make sure you really nail it down to the T where it is that you actually offer your services and you execute your actions. And if you already have a Google Business Profile and your area is incorrect, you can always go back and edit these things. So everything we did right now is not engraved in stone, and you can never ever change that. Don't worry, you can always optimize it. The optimization part we will get in another video as well. I will just show you how to revive an old Google Business Profile then. Don't worry if verification problems are occurring, that's common. Just double check your address and make sure it matches exactly what Google has on file and what you used for verification. Except there is one little thing. If you selected the wrong business type, if you took a storefront versus the service area, you might need to contact Google itself. Actually, they're pretty quick. I did that already because a friend of mine did that as well. I think within a day, they switched the business type. So don't worry, you can fix everything. And finally, sometimes duplicate listing will pop up, often from old phone numbers or addresses. Now search your business name on Google Maps and Google Search. If you find duplicates, click Suggest and Edit and mark it as place is permanently closed or as a duplicate. What you do with that work, you actually help cleaning up the whole mess that's happening over the time, which is inevitable. But you can also claim like business names that are kind of out there and nobody uses it anymore, and you just get that right away. All right, conclusion. That's part 1 of our checklist. Getting this essential setup, getting your right business name, claiming verification, getting your service area, and the initial info. Now, getting these things right is a non-negotiable for a proper ranking and an increased visibility. If you get these things correctly from the foundation, you will already see an increase of your visibility. I can promise you that. Now, hop away, go to google.com and implement these steps right away. If you have any questions, make sure you drop your questions in the comments. I am more than happy to answer them. And before I forget, make sure you follow me so you get the updates on the next videos. Alrighty guys, happy listing. See you in the next video.